Started. So welcome to the first meeting for Amnesty International. Okay, I'll go. So we're going to start with a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't already, please fill out our interest form. We have the code right there. It's the only way we know if you're a member or not. So a lot of you guys haven't filled it out yet. So please make sure you fill it out. The link should also be in the chat. And if you aren't already on the Remind, please make sure you're on it. It's going to be the main way that we post announcements and reminders for meetings. Both of those should be in the chat now. Yeah. Okay.
Basically, just fill out the attendance form as well. I think one of our officers, Davis, is keeping track of that, but make sure to do that.
And if you're watching the recording, fill that out as well.
Yeah. Because watching the recording counts for like attendance. And it's in the chat too. Okay, so like the main big thing that we're going to talk about today is lobbying. So like in Amnesty, like the biggest thing that we could do is lobbying, because it's basically telling our government officials what we think is right and like what we think they should advocate for. Because obviously like a representative of the state is going to listen to their people. They've been elected by the people, they're going to listen to their people. So this is probably the biggest thing that we're going to do. And we're going to lobby on multiple bills. So like, first of all, like lobbying is just seeking out our state representatives, which is for our district 10 is Jennifer Wexton. So we'll mainly be working with her. Maybe we'll get in touch with like a few other ones from different districts, possibly maybe in different states, I'm not sure. But for now, and for the most part, we're going to be talking to Jennifer Wexton and her offices. And basically, we're seeking them out and trying to explain to them why they should be in support of a bill that we want them to support, right? So the first one we're going to do, it's a really important bill that's going on, especially with like gun issues. Obviously, like last year too, like guns rights and everything like that, that was a huge thing. So, and like gun violence. So basically the bill that we're trying to pass is Break the Cycle of Violence Act. It's a $150 million annual funding plan to fund gun violence prevention programs in high crime rate like communities. So especially like if you go like south of Virginia, like in our state itself, like obviously like there it's open carry, Virginia's open carry. So we could use like a lot of gun violence prevention programs and stuff like that to kind of educate people how to safely like use gun and exercise that right. So basically what it will be is we're meeting with the representative herself or someone from her office. It could really be anyone. Honestly, it's just as important as meeting with her and meeting with someone from her office, to be honest, because it all comes back to like the same thing, like will they support the bill or will they not? So basically we'll be speaking to them about why they should be in support of the bill, just the importance. And we generally lobby with people and representatives who are undecided with the bill. So as of right now, Jennifer Wexton's undecided with the Break the Cycle of Violence Act. But we also want to advocate for bills that like follow with like their affiliated political party. So like obviously if our representative was a part of the Republican Party, we probably wouldn't be stressing this certain bill too much just because it goes against their political party's values. So that's just another thing we have to keep in mind, because later on we'll be given the option to like choose and like research which bills we want to lobby for and advocate for. And we have to keep those things in mind, that we're recognized, our district is recognized with this political party, that political party, or a representative is. So we need to keep that in mind, because if we lobby for a bill that goes against the representative's values, they're not going to advocate for it and they're not going to vote for it. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then yeah.
Okay, I can do this. So when we go to lobby, we're basically giving a presentation to this representative about the bill that we want to get passed. So each person who is involved in this lobbying has a role. So the meeting lead will present the bill. The presenter will give an important background on the bill and kind of what the bill is advocating for. One person will give a testimonial, so that's a personal story. It doesn't have to be their own, but it's all very helpful if it is their own story about the bill to kind of appeal to the senses of the person that we're talking to. There will be a note taker who takes notes of the questions that are asked so that we can relay them back to Amnesty International, the organization, so that they can kind of tweak their resources to better equip us. And then also one person will give thank yous to the representative or the officer. So we're going to take a look at a example script from a lobbying that we did back in June for this same bill. So, oh, okay. So this is how it looks. I don't think you guys can see that very well, but effectively, every person will have a role. And if you don't have a role, you kind of just sit there because we need a lot of people to show that there is support. So even if you're not talking directly, you're still making a very important contribution. So we start by thanking the congresswoman or the congresswoman's office about kind of the previous actions that they've done towards the bill. So in this case, we thanked Jennifer Wexton about introducing a specific gun violence prevention act last year. And then the meeting lead will kind of introduce what we're talking about. So in this case, the Break the Cycle of Violence Act. And then the presenter will give background on what the Break the Cycle of Violence Act is, what we're asking the Congresswoman to do. So in this case, we did actually lobby for two different bills. This year, we will only be advocating for the Break the Cycle of Violence Act. Next, we have the testimonial. So in this case, we were working with a group from Chantilly High School. So one of their students talked about a school shooting threat in their school, and that had a really big impact on the representative we were talking about. She pointed that out directly as a big reason why she was in big support of this bill. And then lastly, we give an ask. So an ask is what we want the representative to do. In this case, it was to support the act and also give the act more funding. And then the meeting lead will ask questions. And so it's very simple. And Amnesty International will give us a background on the bill. So it's not hard and it's very easy for all of us to do.
Wait, just to clarify, like, are there any questions about that? Because the biggest thing is like following the script that we'll write. So if there's any questions, just you can shout them out. I don't mind. But okay, so there's no questions. So we're planning to lobby sometime for winter break. I can't guarantee that it'll be for this bill actually, because of stuff like general elections, everything like that. But we're gonna be lobbying sometime for winter break, so we should start like getting prepared and like accustomed to how to do it, how to read the script, like what roles you can play. Again, like as Shabir said, you don't always have to play a role. Sometimes just being there is actually doing a lot because it shows like there's more power in numbers, basically. But yeah, for the most part, so we plan on splitting people into like groups of 7, 8, or 9. About like we prefer 8 because it's just like better for speakers and people, 4 or 5, and then like 4 just observers. And then each group will research and lobby on the Break the Cycle of Violence Act. There again, like there's not much research that goes into it. We'll probably hand that to you for the most part, or Amnesty will, there are like lots of resources on the website, everything that will provide to you. Like you won't have to go in like further detail to do like research on your own, especially not outside of like our meetings or anything. But yeah, so sign up for that. We want like most people to participate because not only like is it like participation in the club, but it's also obviously like a good cause, like a good thing to do. And like you're advocating for something that I hope that we all believe in, which is safety of like gun usage. So yeah.
And this is what we will be working on for the next few meetings. So it's important. The sign up link is just to get your name so that we can split you guys into groups easily. So it's really important that all of you guys do that. you want to move on? Or?
Yeah.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at something called the Free the Families Pledge. So this is, I'll just pull it up. So this is just a very simple petition that we want everyone to sign. So I don't think you guys can read that, but it's there is a lot of issues with ICE detention, and this petition is really important in getting awareness and also getting action done towards preventing separation of families, I believe. Isha, do you have more information on?
Yeah, basically that's pretty much what it is. It's like advocating for that and helping it. We're like, for now, we're like, this petition is talking about like a few people in general, just to like get them home. But yeah, you can read it on your like own time, but I'm sure like you would want to help if you could. If like we do anything in this club, like, or like if you do anything in this club, it should be this, because it's literally just basic information, your first and last name, email address, all that stuff. And you will be signing a petition to get these people out of the ICE detention center, find them like back to their families safely and everything like that. So
okay, so I think we'll give you guys a minute. We highly recommend everyone to take part in that. It's a really big cause. We're trying to do one issue like this every meeting, so so we can expose you guys to as many different issues and have a lot of impact.
if you want, you could do it on your own time too. I think we should just move on.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to introduce Right for Right. So I think Isha has.
Yeah. So basically, apart from lobbying, is probably like the single biggest thing we'll do this year. It's basically a letter writing campaign to, I think obviously, like I talked about this like a lot last meeting too in the interest meeting. It's a letter writing campaign to advocate for people who have been wrongfully imprisoned or detained due to exercising their human rights. So as you can see, there's like a bunch of people here, and these are the people we'll be signing petitions for and writing letters for. Now, again, like signing a petition is definitely easier, but writing a personal letter definitely has more of an impact. So normally how we would do this is we would hand sign a bunch of already pre-written letters, but obviously like we're over virtual, so we should all try to at least sign all the petitions virtually and maybe possibly write a letter or two. Just pick someone that you feel strongly to advocate for. Like there's people who've been detained for trying to fight for climate justice, trying to free people from like wrongfully being put on death row. A women's rights protester was imprisoned in Iran. Like there are a bunch of people who need help. And so yeah, if you find someone that you would really feel to advocate for, I would definitely suggest writing a letter. It doesn't have to be too long, it doesn't have to be too personal. And even if like you really don't want to, they have letters already pre-written. So we suggest at least signing your name to that and emailing it to the person. Yeah, just like that. But yeah, for sure, everyone sign all these petitions. And we'll talk more about like these people individually, because a big thing also we can do is try to help, yeah, these people individually. So we will discuss them and like their cases like in a while, probably after lobbying, but yeah, we'll look at them like what happened and how they got there as individuals and see like if there's one particular person we'd really like to help like collectively as a group, and see if we can try to make an impact on that.
Yeah, so this is going to be an ongoing project. We'll be working on this over a few meetings. So this is something we did last year as well, and it's very successful. Amnesty has gotten a lot of people freed from wrongful imprisonment because of their letter writing campaigns. So it's really easy, as Isha said. They give us templates, so even if you don't want to write it yourself, you can still.
I think last year they released like 4 people. So
yeah. So I think if you guys, we will be working on writing letters during meetings in the upcoming meetings, but I think also if you guys want to write letters on your own time, I think if you can just email it to us, we should be able to just print it out and send it. I think that
Because handwritten, like, it doesn't have to be handwritten, but like personal emails especially, they make like the bigger impact than receiving 20 copies of the same like pre-written message, obviously.
okay. So
I
if
think
any,
that's it for today.
yeah, that's it for today. If anyone has any questions about lobbying or right for rights, please let us know now. And actually, here I'll go. If you
Things
came,
you can do. Say things you can do.
if you came late, please make sure to have these things filled out. They're really important, and I think that's it. So
Make sure to fill out the lobbying form, sign the petition, and at least look into the right for rights like petitions and peoples and see if like there's any of them you can just sign immediately. I know there are a couple that you can just fill your name out at the moment, so make sure you guys do that.
Yo, Shabir, if we sign the lobbying thing like right now, does that automatically put us into lobbying, or is that just like a thing where, okay, if you want to lobby, then we can put you in a group?
well, so we need everyone to fill that out. Is just so that we have names.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have filled out are in our remind but haven't attended meetings. So we need to know who is a member. This lobbying is mandatory. We need everyone to take part in it, but the form is just to have your name, and then we'll put you in groups before our next meeting and let you guys know.
All right, cool.
It being mandatory, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it this time, but you should. So
Yeah, you don't have to present, but
you don't have to present.
yeah, but you need to be in at least one group.
Also, can you put the Linktree link in the Google chat so I can click on it?
Yeah. Gabe, can you do that?
And if you guys don't have any questions, you feel free to leave. Thank you for coming though.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.